Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Emily Paris. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm in my pajamas because I just thought it would be fun to be kind of casual with you guys and wear my pajamas while I do a Q&A video. If you follow me over on my Ostomy Instagram, which is @RollandColon, I posted a story asking you guys what videos you wanted to see, to send me your requests, and one of the most popular was a Q&A, answer our freaking questions. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Okay, I actually want to take a minute because I know that a lot of people over there watch these videos. I cannot begin to express how much you guys mean to me over there. I started out my Roland Colon account because I followed a lot of ostomy accounts, just looking for other people like me when I had an ostomy, and so thought, you know, why wouldn't I share my story? It was so well received on here on YouTube, so I decided to do it on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, the community over there is incredible. And I mean, it's very sad to see people go through it, especially when you know how emotionally and physically painful it can be. But having that support system there for them is really important to me. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, how do you balance school life with your health challenges, work, and an active social life? Okay, so I don't really balance them well, to be quite honest with you. I only work 2 days a week. I am a server. And so that's really easy. My work is very flexible and they're really willing to work with me on that kind of stuff. I do go to school full time. I go to school Monday through Thursday. I'm taking 12 credit hours in school. And that can get very challenging, especially when I'm really not feeling good, especially with some of my newest like health issues. I just am not always feeling the greatest, and I think you just have to have really understanding and supportive people in your life. I recently made a video about how to tell people about your chronic illness, and I think that the only way to have supportive people in your life are to have people who know that they need to even be supportive. You know, you can't get mad at people for not being there for you if they don't even know that they need to be, if that makes sense. So that's how I would balance it. As far as the social life goes, I'm a homebody in general, so it's not like I'm like jonesing for this nightlife lifestyle, and so that isn't too hard for me, but I think that my friends have been very understanding when I need to just take time and kind of sit back. I hang out with my mom a lot, so I hope that that answered your question. I'm not very good at it. What is your dream job / job you want to do after college? Do you enjoy being a server? I enjoy being a server right now. It's not what I want to do for the rest of my life, obviously, or else I wouldn't be going to school. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to school for communications with a minor in marketing. So post-grad, honestly, okay, my dream job, first of all, I don't tell a lot of people this, my dream job would be to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. I love to dance. I've been a dancer and a cheerleader my whole life, which no surprise. And so that would be really cool. But like realistically, I would love to do something with the Roland Colon brand. That is something, a huge goal for me, is to really make this an awareness and support brand, versus just like a personal account. I also honestly would really like to get involved in politics. I don't talk about it online outside of my personal accounts. On Facebook, I'm very outspoken about politics, but I am a very political person and I really enjoy politics and being involved in politics. I have a really, you know, I'm just passionate about it. So I would like to go into politics. I don't know if that means running for myself. Eventually, I think that I would love to do that, but I would also maybe like to be on the campaign side of it. The other thing that I think I would really like to do is go into patient advocacy, and kind of that side of the medical world. I don't think I could be a doctor or a nurse, and at this point, I mean, I'm only 23, but it's a little bit late for that, so I would like to go, I think, into patient advocacy. The next question kind of goes into this, and that is, what is a topic that you're passionate talking about? Not a talent of yours or anything that you do with your health, things that you love to talk about, if that makes sense. Love ya. Like I said, you guys mean more to me than you know, and talking about this stuff outside of here, I am so passionate. When I talk about it to people, they're like, holy crap, your face is like lit up. like a Christmas tree, and it's because I have such a passion and a fire and a true love for helping people and spreading awareness. Before, I had ulcerative colitis, and I knew that an ostomy bag, or I used to call it a colostomy bag, prior to knowing anything about this, but I knew that that could happen to me, but I had no idea what it was like. And so even for somebody who dealt with the reality of maybe having an ostomy, didn't know, how many other people out there don't know? Am I making any sense? I think I am. Basically what I'm trying to say is I have such a passion for raising awareness, and I'm actually going to be launching a project in a couple weeks that I think is really going to help that community, you know, kind of build itself up and hopefully get a cure. I don't know. Who knows? You'll find out when I launch this project. Another thing that I'm really passionate about outside of all of this is politics. I'm so passionate about politics. The 2016 election, I mean, I've always been interested in politics, but the 2016 election lit a fire under my ass. And it's not something that I'm really shy away from, so if you guys would like me to talk about politics, I guess I can. I've definitely become much more knowledgeable, and I just know a lot more about political issues and just, I guess, the politics of politics, if that makes sense. So that is something I am really passionate about. The same person asked, biggest lesson you've learned through life. I actually had to write a paper on this recently for one of my classes, and honestly, to stop caring. Like, I used to care so much what people thought about me. I thought that people were thinking about me 24/7, or I'd walk up to a group and think that they were talking crap about me, or I wouldn't cut my hair because what would they think about me, or I wouldn't go after the guy I liked because what would they think about me. And at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. You're the person who has to look in the mirror. So that, I think, is the biggest thing I've learned in life, is to stop caring what people think if it doesn't affect them. Obviously, I care what my friends and family think, and like, if like I'm not being a good friend, I care that they think I'm not being a good friend, but I don't care if you don't like my haircut. If it makes me happy, if it brings me joy, I'm going to continue to do it. Have you ever been to an IBD camp? What are your thoughts on this? And I think that this person is asking because she looks kind of young in her photo. I think she's asking like children's camps for IBD patients. And I hope that's what you're talking about, and if not, I'm sorry. I have never been to one. I wasn't diagnosed with ulcerative colitis until I was 18. I think a lot of you think that I'm a lot younger than I am. I'm 23 years old. I turned 24 this year. And so I've never been to an IBD camp, but I think that they're great. I think that they're useful for children who need them. But at the same time, I don't see why you couldn't go to a regular camp or an average kid camp. I think that, you know, not labeling yourself as having a disability is just healthier for your brain. And so I would say that would be my advice on it. If you want to go if you have the money to do it. And I mean, I guess it's like a summer camp support group, basically, right? So that could be nice to kind of have kids other kids your age going through the same thing as you, to kind of have to lean on. So thoughts on relationships and chronic illness. Any tips on telling a guy about your diagnosis? I do actually have a video all about sex and dating with an ostomy, and I will have that linked down below, or you can just search it on my channel. I also have a video that I just posted about how to tell people about your ostomy, and I'll go ahead and just sum up one of my biggest tips for telling people that you have an ostomy, no matter who it is, or about your chronic illness, is that they are going to mimic the opinion that you have on it. So if you're positive, if you are really confident, or at least portray that persona, they're going to kind of take on that same mindset. How to overcome your chronic illness, like how to feel better within yourself and stop feeling so down, and how to try to get people to understand what you're going through. I gave up trying to make people understand what I was going through a long time ago, and I still struggle with it. I still struggle with, you know, my work doesn't always understand how hard it is, or I look fine so they don't get that I don't feel good. Even my own mom sometimes thinks that I'm being lazy when I just really don't feel well. And so I gave up on that a long time ago, and I think that that is probably one of the biggest tips for making people understand is you're not going to be able to. Nor would you really want them to fully understand. Nobody wants a chronic illness on somebody else, even your worst enemy, ex-boyfriend, but you know, I'm just saying. Side note, there is something so satisfying about ice cold water. Oh my God. How to overcome your chronic illness. I don't think that there's ever overcoming it. I think that there's just learning to deal with it. Different coping mechanisms, which I can do a more detailed video on that at some point, but I don't think you ever overcome it. I think that you just learn different ways to deal with it, and I think that talking about it, that really helps for me. Talking about my chronic illness and being there for other people kind of gives my chronic illness a purpose, kind of made this all have a reason of why it happened. What is your favorite TV series and what are you currently watching on Netflix? My all-time favorite TV series is Law & Order SVU. I have seen every episode of all seasons literally 10 times. I'm not kidding. I keep going back to old seasons and being like, oh, maybe I'll forget what happens and like I can kind of watch this like I'm watching it for the first time. No, I've seen it all a million times. I'm not really watching anything on Netflix right now, like a series. I don't know, what have I been watching? I am obsessed with Hasan Minhaj. If you don't know who that is, here's his gorgeous face. He is one of the hottest guys I've ever seen in my whole life. And I watch like all of his interviews, and his Netflix special, Homecoming King, is really, really good. I highly recommend it. He's a comedian. He's a daily correspondent on, or he's a correspondent on The Daily Show. And I love him. Oh my God, I wish he wasn't married. Anyways, what is your favorite food? Pickles and popcorn, and I have a really big sweet tooth, so any kind of junk. But like as far as a meal, I really like fish, like salmon. Yum. Do you have any plans to come to Australia? No, not right now. I think that I actually want to start doing like live streams. I don't know if like on Instagram, or yeah, like on Instagram or something, but that way I can kind of interact with you guys one-on-one on a live basis versus just like through comments and messages. Brooke says, I just said her name, but I haven't been saying anybody else's name. I've had UC for the last 3 years and I really want to have surgery, and I really want to have the surgery be done with all of this, but I'm super scared because I've never had surgery and lots of anxiety because of it. I want to hear what you went through with the surgery. Was it painful, scary? I don't really know what to say because I don't know what you're going through. And my situation was different. I didn't go into the surgery having it planned. I didn't get to prepare for the surgery. I literally went from being relatively healthy and having my ulcerative colitis managed to dying in the ICU. I mean, it was very quick and very fast, and then I was rushed into emergency surgery to have my colon removed. So that was very scary. I will say that having my end ileostomy was not the end of the world. Starting a YouTube channel, or I guess starting to talk about it on YouTube and being more open about it, it definitely took me a while to be okay with it. As far as just the surgery process, like let's not even think about the emotional aspect, it's hard. Another person asked, like, how is my J-pouch going? Would I do it all over again if I could? The answer is absolutely not. If I had to do things exactly the way they were, like cookie cutter, go through this experience again, hell no. No. But I will say I had a lot of complications, and a lot of really just rare things happen. I mean, the majority of people, I would say, it's just painful. I mean, it's surgery. You're having a new organ reconstructed out of an old organ. Or I guess not an old organ, but not the correct one. And so you're asking your small intestine to do things that it was never made to do. And so it's going to be painful. Now that I'm here, I love having a J-pouch. I'm glad that I didn't know, like, could I have watched the future? Could I have, if I could have watched a video of what I would go through, hell no, I would not have done it. But I think that that's one of the good things, is that we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And now that I have a J-pouch, I love it. I love my life. I am so happy. Someone said, how does it compare to life with UC or having an ileostomy? Do you ever miss having your ostomy bag? I would say that having a J pouch is very comparable to having UC, but a J pouch isn't going to kill you. UC could. You're also not sick. You go to the bathroom a lot, so I go to the bathroom about 6 times a day, and when I say go to the bathroom, I mean I'm pooping 6 times a day. But that never bothered me with UC. That was never an issue. I will say there's no urgency. Like, there's no sense of like, oh my god, I'm gonna poop myself in Walmart right now if I don't get to a bathroom. You can hold in your stool. It's not formed stool, like it's not like a hard poop. It's like liquidy diarrhea. And so in that way, I think it's comparable to UC. But, and you do have to watch what you eat. There is a little bit of cramping, at least for me. I'm only 6 months out, and so my J pouch is still getting used to being used. Do you ever miss your ostomy bag? Sometimes, yeah, but I think that I miss it for emotional reasons. I think that I weirdly got attached to having an ostomy, and was really attached to my stoma Rosie, and, oh my god, why am I getting choked up right now? Rosie was not what I wanted, but she was definitely what I needed. And it was weird. We had like this weird bond, and like I thought of her as like her own person. Like, I didn't think like, oh, this is my small intestine. I thought that she was like her own entity with thoughts and feelings in a weird way. I mean, I knew that she wasn't, but do I miss having an ostomy? Sometimes, but at the same time, I think that I'm a lot better off emotionally and mental health wise without an ostomy. I had terrible self-confidence. I was really embarrassed. My anxiety was at an all-time high. So yeah, hope that answered your question. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not at school, work, or doing YouTube? Hanging out with my friends, surfing the web. I like sweets, so I like eating cookies in bed. That's one of my favorite pastimes. I'm a big movie and TV watcher. I love movies and TVs. One of my favorite movies, I don't know, I just watched It. That was scary. So yeah, those are all the questions that I'm going to answer. I really appreciate you guys asking them on that video. If you want me to do a Q&A again, DM me on Instagram and send me your questions. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I liked doing this little casual, I hope that I wasn't as upbeat as normal, but I think that I kind of like this just like casual vibe. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe down below. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye. Why did I do that? I don't know, because I'm weird. Okay, bye.